Reflecting on my childhood, I recall seeing a logo on my father's car featuring a shield and a handshake, the emblem of the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID. At that time, we were living in Niger, a country in sub-Saharan West Africa. My father, an agronomist educated at Cornell University, dedicated his efforts to helping the local people cultivate the land and grow millet, one of the few crops that could endure the harsh desert conditions. He found great joy in teaching the Nigerian people how to sustain themselves with the limited resources available. However, there was a persistent frustration regarding the funds promised to USAID workers, which never seemed to fully reach those most in need. Corruption within the Nigerian leadership meant that each top official took their share from the funds. By the time the money trickled down to the villagers, it was often just a fraction of what was initially promised. As a result, USAID workers like my father had to make do with what little they received. Years later, while assisting in relief efforts following the 2005 earthquake in Pakistan, I noticed a USAID tent. I never quite understood their role as they didn't coordinate with our primary efforts to deliver supplies and shelter to the mountainous regions of Kashmir before the harsh winter set in. From what I observed, the USAID workers seemed to operate independently, so we left them alone while we focused on recovering victims' remains from beneath the rubble. During my service in Iraq, there was a significant investigation into a large shipment of computers intended for school children that suddenly went missing. The USAID workers were eager to find out where thousands of laptops had disappeared to. They certainly weren't in the marshlands of Basra, where people lacked electricity, let alone internet access. In Afghanistan, there was an initiative to recruit female police officers and promote gender equality. Many of these female officers became primary targets of the Taliban after it swiftly regained control of Afghanistan following the chaotic U.S. withdrawal. While serving in Afghanistan, it became clear to me that the USAID I remembered from my childhood, my father's agency, which brought essential resources to remote villages in Niger, Zaire, Guinea, and Cameroon, had transformed into an agency that delivers what aid workers want rather than what people need. In Pakistan, people needed blankets and tarps to survive the winter, not entertainment affirming diverse sexual orientations and gender identities. In Iraq, they sought stability, not cloud computing. In Afghanistan, they desired freedom from the oppressive Taliban regime that silences women's voices in public. It seems that those who have taken over USAID in recent years are more focused on reshaping the world according to their vision of America, rather than providing basic human necessities like food, water, and shelter to those in need. The arrogance within the agency is astonishing. I witnessed a senior USAID official advising his younger colleagues in 2018 not to worry about what then-President Donald Trump wanted, but to do what they believed was right and simply wait him out. Recently, thanks to revelations from Elon Musk, we discovered that the agency has indeed become a financial resource for left-leaning priorities. In addition to spending $2.05 million on a diversity, equity, and inclusion program in Serbia, $70,000, and on a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000, and on a transgender opera in Colombia, and $32,000 and on transgender comic books in Peru, it has come to light that USAID has allocated millions to enterprises backed by George Soros. As we continue to learn more each day under the new Trump administration, the handshake I remember from the USAID logo as a child now feels more like a slap in the face. While some criticize unelected figures like Elon Musk and his team for uncovering waste, fraud, and abuse, perhaps they should first scrutinize the unelected officials who have managed USAID and spent taxpayer dollars on their own pet projects.